All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining our session of this conference. And we are so excited that we get to be with you all for the next hour. We will be talking about research engagement and advocacy for diverse individuals, or for short, READY. So when you hear the word READY, we are talking about research engagement and advocacy for all individuals. More specifically for today, we will be talking about what health research is, but let's start with introductions. There are 4 of us who will be leading the session. I will start. My name is Natalie, and I am from Elkhorn, Wisconsin, and I love to practice yoga and play tennis. Oh, Allison, you are muted.
Sorry. Hi, my name is Allison Mushett, and I'm from Madison, Wisconsin, and I love to play Special Olympic sports and travel.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan Gray and I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota. I love to go rollerblading and to go hiking with my dog.
Hi, my name is Steve. I'm from Portage. I like to swim and go fish.
And we also have 3 people from our research team, Carla, Libby, and Helen, who will also be helping us out throughout the module or throughout the session. So now we would love to hear from our listeners. Please use the chat box below to introduce yourself, and we would like to know your name and what you like to do to stay healthy. Hello, Lauren. And Lauren likes to dance and go for walks with my dog or with her dogs. Carla says that she likes to spend time with her family. That's a great way to stay healthy. Libby said, I like to play with my 2-year-old outside to stay healthy. Yes. Nice to meet you, Libby, Carla, and Lauren. Hi, Randy. Randy said that he likes to walk or run or hike and cook a well-balanced meals for his family. I've been doing a little more cooking since COVID started. I'll just wait for a few more responses. Oh, sorry, Randy. We have about like 10 more seconds for other people. Katrina likes to dance and go for walks. Nice to meet you, Katrina. And Helen said that she likes to walk and ski outside. I enjoy snowboarding, so that's the only reason why I really like winter in Wisconsin. Okay, well, it looks like we have a fantastic and healthy group of individuals. So thank you for everyone for letting us know who you are. Before we start, we want to share with you a little bit more about READY. READY stands for Research Engagement and Advocacy for Diverse Individuals. This is a curriculum, like a short class, about promoting research inclusion for people with intellectual disabilities. I have been working with Megan, Steve, and Allison, in addition to people from other states, to develop this curriculum. As you can see here, we have already shared READY with 4 different states, including Wisconsin, Minnesota, Florida, and Nebraska. So for today's session will only be 1 hour long, which is a shortened version of READY. Usually we meet 4 times for 2 hours each to complete the READY curriculum. So what we talk about today is only a small portion of READY. So we're hoping to lead at least 1 more READY session in November. So do you want to complete all 4 modules, meet other people who are interested in research, and write your very own health story? If you answered yes, and I hope you did, to this question, join us in November for 4 days of research fun. We will have 2 options. We will have option 1 for Monday and Wednesday from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. And then option 2 for Tuesday and Thursday from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And we would start on Monday, November 9th, and it would go for 2 weeks. So to participate, please email us at the email listed here and say that you would like to join READY, and also check out our supplemental materials for more information. And let's get started. In this session, we will talk about what health is, what health research is, reasons for why you belong on our research team, and then we are going to look at 2 health stories, and then we will finish the session with a research activity. Megan is now going to start with defining the word health for us.
Thanks, Natalie. Before we start talking about health research, let's talk about health. Take a minute to think about this question. What does health mean to you? Think about your answer, and then once you have your answer, please share it with us in the chat box. Natalie will read off some of your ideas and we'll write them here on our screen. So again, our question is, what does health mean to you? And while everyone is thinking about this question, let's ask Allison for an example.
For me, health is exercising every day or playing sports in Special Olympics.
Awesome. Thanks, Allison. That's a great example of health. So now let's give everyone a chance to respond in the chat. And Natalie, if you can read me off the chat answers, I will write them on our screen.
Okay. Katrina said long life, so to live a long life. Carla said, she's promoting our curriculum. Randy said feeling good, physically and mentally. I like how you included both of those, Randy. Cliff said health, including both your mental and physical, and as well as your spiritual well-being. I agree. And Carla said eating healthy food, maybe like fruits and veggies. Someone said to feel focused, energized, and happy. Yes, because sometimes if you're doing a bunch of activities, it's important that you maintain, you be happy and maintain like a positive well-being. So that's a very good point. Spending time with friends and family. Yes. Finding balance of all the things I have to do, which may include spending time with your family, going to school, hobbies, cleaning your house. Crystal said, health is being able to do all things I want to do physically, mental health stability, and maintaining a good lab numbers and getting enough water and rest. Yes, we should all be getting at least 7-8 hours of sleep. And Chad said, exercising daily to do 10,000 steps a day. Wow, that is a good goal to have. What a great list.
Yeah, this is awesome, you guys. Great thinking. I think we have some really good ideas about what health is in this group. So, and I really like too how we have both physical health represented here and eating healthy foods, exercising, and then also mental health, finding balance, spending time with family, and spiritual health as well, because those are all very important parts of health. So thank you to everyone for sharing with us in this activity.
Oh, and there's one more that I would like to mention. Eugene said, maintaining a good relationship with my family. And that's a very good point. So thank you for sharing that, Eugene.
Awesome. Yes, these are all great ideas. And I think you all did a great job of hitting on all these different parts of health. And so we as a research team have come up with 3 different things that health includes. So we think that health includes physical, mental, and social well-being. So physical well-being is how your body feels and physical fitness. Mental well-being is how your mind feels and coping with things like stress or different emotions you might feel. And then social well-being is feeling like you belong and that you're included. It's important to remember that certain things can make it easier or harder to be healthy. Health can be influenced by our choices or by things in our community or our environment. Some things that influence our health are what we eat and drink, physical activity, medical bills and insurance, and transportation to places like the doctor's office or to the gym, and research. In today's presentation, we will specifically talk about health research and advocacy and how these 2 things can impact health. So advocacy means sharing your story with other people to make sure that your voice is heard. Using advocacy, you can advocate to change laws or policies that are important to you. Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit about health and advocacy, let's define what research is. Now I'm going to hand it over to Steve to tell us more about the 3 parts of research.
There are 3 parts to research. First part is asking a question. It is important to think of research questions that interest you. The second part of research is finding answers. You can find answers in many ways, such as searching for answers on the internet or asking someone who is an expert. The third part of research is telling others. There are so many ways we can benefit from research. Research might tell us important things about how we stay healthy or give ideas of new activities to try. By sharing this information with others, we are making sure that as many people as possible will benefit our research finding. Three parts of research might be easier to understand using an example. Something I was interested in learning more about this year was how to maintain a mental health during the COVID-19 pandemic. First thing I did was make an idea into a question. I asked myself, what are some activities I could do to maintain my mental health during the COVID-19 next? I typed my question into Google to find answers. I found that going on walks outside, journaling, and calling friends on the phone are all great ways to stay mentally healthy. Finally, I shared my answers with all of you here today.
Thanks, Steve, for explaining what research is and the three important parts of it. Now that we have a better understanding of what research is, which is asking a question, finding answers, and telling others, let's talk about why you belong on a research team. And because we were going to split up into breakout groups, but because we have a smaller group, we're just going to stay in one group. So I'll give everyone about like 30 to 45 seconds to think about this. Why do you belong on a research team? Because I think we can come up with tons of reasons. And go ahead and use the chat box to answer this question. And I will read them off and Megan will write them on the board.
Allie?
Yes?
I'm also wondering if, because we have a smaller group, they could chat. If somebody would like to say it out loud, and we could unmute them while they give their response.
Yes, so go ahead and raise your hands because you're all muted, and then I will unmute you. So feel free to either share it with your voice or share it on the or in the chat box. So why do you think you belong on a research team?
And
Maybe
while we're waiting
Steve-
for, yeah, while we're waiting for our responses, let's ask Steve, because I know that Steve has been a part of a research team a couple of times. What do you think, Steve?
You are muted, Steve.
Yeah, because you can share that information. You can share that information with other people.
Yeah, you can educate other people. The things that you learn from your participation, you can tell other people. And it looks like our chat box is just blowing up. Okay, let me scroll to the top a bit. So Randy said to have diverse knowledge. Yeah, you can share your own perspective, share different ideas to make your research team or the research study stronger and more meaningful. And Randy also said, to also have diverse backgrounds and experiences, it makes a more rounded research team. I agree. Crystal said, I think everyone could bring something to the team. Every person is unique and different, so they would each bring something unique to the team. More ideas with more different people. Thanks for sharing, Crystal. Eugene said, being able to see different point of views. Yes. Libby said, I belong on a research team because I have good ideas. Yes, and maybe you want to share with the research team and other people might be like, oh, I did not think of that way. That's an interesting way of looking at a certain topic. We all have a voice, yes, and we all have different perspectives and learning approach. Yes, so maybe you have experienced a specific learning approach that you want to share that works well for you. So maybe it might work well for other people. Being able to expose to a different environment, yep, and seeing different perspectives. Carla said, making sure that research teams are asking them the right questions. Maybe you know what those questions that researchers can use that would address your health concerns. And Chad said, if you find something out, it doesn't do good unless you can share it. Yes, I agree, Chad. Thank you for sharing. And we'll do one more because I'm sure Megan's fingers are getting tired for how fast we're all responding. You can help make sure the results are shared with everyone in a way that is understandable. Yes, because sometimes researchers might not know the best way to include people in research, or might not understand like how they can share information. So you can share your own perspective. As someone mentioned earlier about like a specific learning approach, you can share that idea with research. Be like, I know this is a way that we can promote more inclusion in our research team. So thank you everyone for sharing. And while there are so many reasons for why you belong in a research team, as you all mentioned, we want to talk about 3 reasons. The first reason for why you belong on a research team is that you can bring new ideas to the table. Maybe you have an idea of a research question that should be asked, or maybe you have some good ideas about the best way to get others involved in research. By sharing your ideas with the research team, you can help make research better and more meaningful. The second reason for why you belong on a research team is that you can help doctors improve healthcare. You can make sure doctors and researchers are asking important questions that focus on your health concerns. You can also help them have a better understanding of the barriers that you face in healthcare. You also belong on a research team because your participation can educate other people. If you have friends, family members, or community members that also have an interest in the research topic you're learning about, you can share those findings with them because everyone can benefit from your findings. So I mentioned that you can share your ideas on a research team. You can also use your health stories to share experiences and ideas with doctors, researchers, and others. A health story is a story that may include your personal health facts, things you do to stay healthy, things you're proud of, questions you have about your health, or maybe you have other ideas that you want to share with other people. So today, Alice and Steve will be sharing a short version of their health stories with you. First, we'll listen to Steve's health story. Steve is here with us today. Steve, can you wave to everyone so they can see you? Steve's health story is for health researchers. So let's take a listen.
Hi, I'm Steve. I am 41 years old and I'm a person with ID. I was born with my disability. It was hard growing up, but I have learned to cope with it. My health story is for researchers, and I would like to share some ideas that I have would make life better for people like me. My idea is to build an app that checks in with people. The app would check in at random times during the day and ask you, how are you feeling? Based on how you respond, it could then give you something to make you feel better, such as take a walk or call a friend. This information could be shared with doctors, teachers, or counselors to be better understand the everyday experience of people with disabilities. I hope this app could help all kinds of people with disabilities improve their mental health.
That was Steve's health story. Steve talked about making an app that you could have on your smartphone or tablet that would check in with you and ask questions about your mental health. This app would also encourage you to take a walk or call a friend if you're feeling stressed out. This is an app that I definitely need during the pandemic, COVID. So great idea, Steve. Thank you for sharing. So now we're going to listen to Allison's health story. Allison is also here with us today. Allison, can you wave to everyone? Allison's health story is for advocacy groups. So let's take a listen.
Hi, my name is Allison Mushet. My health story is for the advocacy group. I love being in Special Olympics and I have been in it for 18 years. One health fact you should know about me is that I had several seizures, but not anymore. I drink lots of water and go on multiple walks a day. Play basketball, tennis, volleyball, golf, and swimming. Sometimes I have anxiety, which is not fun to have. I'm still healthy. I practice breathing exercises for my anxiety when I feel overwhelmed. Lastly, I smile a lot, and you should too.
So that was Allison's health story. Allison talked about her favorite sports, drinking water, doing meditation and deep breathing to relax, as well as to remember to smile. Allison advocates for herself and her abilities and highlights the importance of doing many different activities that support both her physical and her mental well-being. So thank you for sharing, Allison.
So now that you've seen a few examples of health stories, I want you to just take a minute to imagine that you wrote your health story of your own. Maybe you have a good idea of something that would help people with disabilities, like Steve's idea for an app. Or maybe you want to share what you do to be healthy, like Allison did. How could you use your health story? Let's take a few seconds to think about this question and then send your answers to us in the chat. One example could be sharing your health story with a teacher or a family member so that they can better understand you and your experiences. So while everyone is thinking, let's ask Steve what he thinks about this question. Oops, Steve, I'm gonna unmute you. Can you say that again?
I shared my health story with researchers to give them an idea of a research question that was important to me.
Yes, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing, Steve. And Steve had a really good idea for an app that could help people to check in with their mental health. Okay, so while everybody's thinking, our question is, how could you use your health story? So if you have an idea, please put it in the chat, and then I will have Natalie read them off to me as I write them on the screen.
We'll give everyone about like 30 to 40 seconds. So Crystal said, I can use my health story to share with individuals who have the same conditions as I do. We could share effective treatments or methods and perhaps exchange things with each other that other has not tried or thought of. Yeah, so it sounds like you can use your health story to educate other people. Libby said, I could use it to talk to my doctor about things that is important for them to know about me and my health. Yeah, so maybe you encountered a new doctor and the doctor doesn't know much about you or how they could have a positive experience for you. So you can use your health story to share those ideas with them. Chad said to advocate. Yeah, maybe you're part of an organization that is important to you, or maybe there's a policy that is important to you. So you want to advocate for those organizations or policies. Randy said, sharing and listening to personal stories, good or bad, helps people feel that they are not alone and can inspire us or others. Yeah, I like how you said the word inspire. Maybe you could use your health story as an example and inspire other people to write their own health stories and share it with other people like researchers or doctors or even like family members. So great ideas. I'll give everyone a few more seconds just in case anyone else wants to share. Inspire other moms. Yeah, maybe there's a certain strategy as a mom that you like to use for your kids and you want to share that with other moms. Or maybe sometimes like if you're a mom for the first time and you feel scared or you feel like you might not know much, you can share your health stories with them and say, you're not alone. This is what I went through. These are things that you can expect as a first-time mom. So great example. And Carla said, tell researchers about the importance of certain topics that are important to me that aren't being studied. Yeah, so that kind of goes back to for why you belong on a research team. You can make sure that researchers are asking important questions that address your health concerns. And we'll do one more to raise awareness to others' areas of needs and improvements. Yeah, just sharing your perspective. Maybe you go to a store and you notice that something's not very accessible and you might want to share that with the store owner and teach them and educate them how they can make their store more accessible to all individuals. So great ideas.
Thanks everybody for sharing. These are wonderful ideas of ways you could use your health story. And so we'll mention this again at the end, but if you do choose to participate in our modules in November, you will have the chance to write your very own health story with someone from our research team, which is a really fun experience. Okay. So before we finish our session today, we would like to give everyone a chance to experience research. So I'm going to have Allison now read us the directions for our research activity.
Okay, everyone, now we are going to do a sample research activity. I will read you 6 different questions about things you might need to do in your everyday life. You can answer yes, sometimes, or no to each question using your Zoom poll. After each question, we will discuss the results.
Yes, and just a note, if you are at a watch party watching this, if you have multiple people in your room, you can take a vote, and then because each computer will only be able to submit one response. So if you have more than one person watching on your computer, pick one as a group that you will choose that best represents your group.
And
Okay,
also,
Allison. Oh, go ahead, Natalie.
we were hoping that we could go through each question individually, but we are actually going to be handing out all 6 questions, and then there's a 7th question that you do not have to answer. But if you like to answer, you can, but just go ahead and answer the first 6 questions, and then once we get all the results, Megan will go through and compare it to the national average.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So Allison, can you guess the first question?
Do you drink at least 6 8-ounces of glasses of water per day?
So we can go through each question. We can read through each question, and then I'll launch the poll.
Do you exercise at least 3 times per week?
Wonderful. Can you ask the next question?
Do you get at least 7 hours of sleep per night?
Great. And how about question 4?
Do you go to the doctor's office? Do you go to the doctor's at least 1 time per year for your annual checkup?
And can you read us question 5?
When you go to the doctor's office, do you feel like the doctor will listen to you?
And our very last question, question 6.
Did the pandemic impact your emotional well-being?
Yes. Thank you, Allison, for reading all of our questions. We meant to have them show up one at a time, but it looks like they're all showing up at once. So we're going to give you a few minutes to fill those out, and then we'll talk about our answers. And in the meantime, I'm going to play some fun music while you're thinking about your answers. Okay, it looks like we have about half of the people have their answers in. So if you're still working, keep clicking those boxes and then make sure you hit submit at the bottom so we get answers from everybody. And so while we're waiting, we have a few more people. I'll play the music one more time. So you have about 30 more seconds. If I can play it, let's see. Okay, we're getting some good responses in, and I can see the answers coming in. I'll wait just a few more seconds. We have just a few people who haven't submitted them yet. So if you are still working on the questions, no worries, but make sure you hit that submit button at the bottom so that we get to see your answer. And we won't see who is saying which answers, but we're just going to talk about what everybody's saying as a group.
Maybe we can play this song one more time. I really enjoy it.
I know, we love the song. That was Allison's great idea and great addition to this presentation. Okay, thank you everybody for participating in this research activity. And so in this activity, all of you filled out some questions that were kind of like a survey. And so now we're going to talk about the results of our group. And so everything we talk about today represents the group of people who are with us today and how you all answered the questions that we were asking you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through one at a time, and I'm going to write down how many people answered each question and what their responses were. So our first question asked, do you drink at least 3 8-ounce glasses of water per day? And in our group, we had 58% of people said yes, they drink at least 3 8-ounce glasses of water per day. We had 33% of people said that they drink 3 8-ounce glasses of water per day sometimes, and 8% said no, they do not drink 3 8-ounce glasses of water per day. And so for this question, we're also going to compare the results of our group with the national average. So that is data or information that has been gathered from people all over the United States. And so all over the United States, people on average drink about 2.5 glasses of water per day. So you can see in our group, a whole lot of people said that yes, or sometimes they drink at least 3 8-ounce glasses of water per day. So it looks like our group is doing a pretty good job drinking lots of water to stay healthy. So that is wonderful. Good work, everyone. And now let's move on to question 2. So the second question said, do you exercise at least 3 times per week? We had 27% of people said that yes, they exercise at least 3 times per week. And a lot of people said sometimes. We had 64% of the people in our group said that they sometimes exercise 3 times per week. And then 18% of people said no, they do not exercise at least 3 times per week. And so the national average for this, or all across the United States, about 51%, or about half of the people who live in the United States exercise at least 3 times per week. So it looks like in our group, we have a lot of people who say they sometimes exercise at least 3 times per week, which is probably pretty close to the national average. But if you look at how many people said yes and sometimes, we have a lot of people who at least sometimes are exercising at least 3 times per week. So that is really good. And that means that the people in this group today are doing a really good job of thinking about their health and making sure that they're staying healthy by incorporating exercise into their daily routines. The third question asked, do you get at least 7 hours of sleep per night? And I like this question because in the beginning, when we were talking about health, somebody brought up, it's really important that we're sleeping enough every night because that's an important part for both our physical and our mental health. And so in our group, we had 27% again of people said that they get at least 7 hours of sleep per night. 64% of people said that they sometimes get at least 7 hours of sleep per night. And then 18% of people said that they do not get at least 7 hours of sleep per night. So those are actually the same numbers we got for the earlier question about exercise. And if we look in the whole United States, the national average for how many people get at least 7 hours of sleep per night, 65% of people in the United States usually get at least 7 hours of sleep per night. So if you look at our group, we had 27% said that they always get 7 hours of sleep per night, and 64% said they sometimes get 7 hours of sleep per night. So we're doing a really good job, it looks like, and maybe even better than the national average if we look at the people who are sometimes and always getting 7 hours of sleep per night. So nice job, everyone, making sure that you're getting enough sleep. Our next question asked, do you go to the doctor at least one time per year for an annual checkup? And the people in our group did really good with this question. We had 82% of people in our group who said that yes, every year they go to the doctor for an annual checkup. And that's just about almost the same as the national average, which is 85% of people in the United States go to the doctor one time per year for their annual checkup. In our group, we had another 9% of people say that they sometimes go. And then 18% of people say that they do not go to the doctor one time per year for their annual checkup. And so it looks like people are doing really good on this question. But if you were someone who answered sometimes or no, we also have to think about why maybe there are things that make it hard to go to the doctor. So maybe, like we talked about, barriers or things that make it harder to be healthy. So maybe your doctor's office is really far away from your house, or maybe during COVID, you usually take the bus, but you don't want to take the bus during the pandemic. And so it's really hard for you to go to the doctor. So those are things we have to think about and see if we can do anything to change them. And that's sometimes where your health story comes in. So maybe you have a good idea for some kind of transportation, or you want to share with your policymakers why it's important to fund certain programs, or to make sure that everybody has health insurance coverage. And so that's kind of demonstrating that this activity is also really important. Research is really important so that we make sure that everybody is getting access to the healthcare they need. Okay, our next question is asking, when you go to the doctor's office, do you feel that the doctor listens to you? And so you can see the national average box in this question is grayed out. So we actually haven't asked this question to everybody in the United States yet. So we don't have data or information for that column at the end. And that's why it's really important, if you have a good idea for a research question, that you share that with a researcher so that we can ask the most important questions, because this seems to me like an important question. I want to know if people think that their doctor is listening to them, but we just don't know that yet. And so that would be a good idea for a future research study. But we do have information from the people in our group, even though we don't have the national average. So for this question, it was, when you go to the doctor's office, do you feel that the doctor listens to you? So in our group, we had 82% of people who said, yes, I feel that the doctor is listening to me when I go to the doctor's office. And then we also had 27% of people who said, sometimes I feel like my doctor listens to me. And we didn't have anybody who said no. So that's a good sign. That means that our doctors are doing a good job of listening to us and treating us with respect and answering our questions. But we do still have 27% of people who said sometimes. So that means that those people don't feel that their doctor is always listening to them. And so if you're one of those people, maybe that's when you would want to share your ideas or write a health story with your to share with your doctor, to tell them how they could maybe better help you. So maybe you have an idea of a way that a waiting room could be changed to make it so that it's easier to wait for your doctor's appointment, or something like that, that you could share with doctors. And you could share that in a health story. Okay, and so our final question today for this research activity was, did the pandemic impact your emotional well-being. And so it looks like we had a lot of people, actually, we had 100% of people say that the pandemic has impacted their emotional well-being. And I didn't answer the questions, but I would have to agree with this one, that the pandemic has changed so many things in our lives that it's impacted my emotional well-being too. Sometimes I have to think about what I'm doing to maintain my mental health during the pandemic. So, you know, maybe I'm taking more walks or making sure I'm calling friends since I'm not seeing them in school every day. And so, yes, 100% of people said that the pandemic impacted their emotional well-being. And so I think this is a really important example of why it's important to do research and ask these kinds of questions. Because if we told our lawmakers or our legislators that the pandemic is impacting people's emotional well-being, which is affecting their mental health, maybe we could work together to think of different kinds of solutions for that. So maybe we offer more conferences like this, where we have a chance to connect with other people in the state of Wisconsin. Or maybe maybe there are other programs that can offer online kind of things so that people can still be active in their communities while staying safe during COVID. So yeah, that is a very important question to ask. So thank you to everybody who participated in our research study, our little mini survey here. I think it's always fun to look at the answers for our groups because every group is different. But we have a lot of people who had a lot of really good ideas. So thank you for sharing those today in this activity.
So I hope you have a better understanding of what health research is, why you belong on a research team, and how you can share your ideas or concerns through your health story. But before we finish, let's do a quick ready review. And Steve, would you like to read us our review questions?
Earlier today, I talked about the 3 important parts of research. Do you remember what the 3 steps of research is? The answer: 1, tell others; 2, drink a milkshake; 3, ask a question; or 4, find answers. Once you have the answer, write the correct number in the chat box.
All right, we'll give everyone about 30 to 40 seconds to think about this. What is the first step in the research and in the research process? All right, some answers are coming in. People are saying 3 so far. Oh, good point, Carla. Carla said 3, but I wish there was a drink, or I wish there was a chance for her to drink a milkshake. Good point. But Carla, would that be very healthy to drink a milkshake? Maybe every once in a while. Okay, we'll give everyone just a few more seconds to answer this. Yes, Carla, in moderation. 3, I'm seeing some other answer, maybe finding answers. We'll have to come to that answer for the next question, Lauren. You're thinking ahead. Yes, there you go, to ask a question. Okay, so it looks like majority of the people are saying 3, ask a question.
That's right. Asking a question is the first part of research. What is the second part of research? Once you have your answer, put the number in the chat box.
Is it 1, tell others; 2, walk your pet; 3, ask a question; or 4, find answers? People are saying 4, find answers.
That's right. We find answers to our questions second. Finally, what is the last part of research? What do we find? What do we do with our answers? 1, tell others. 2, have a dance party. 3, ask a question. 4, find answers.
Crystal said 1 and 2. Maybe you want to tell people at the dance party. So that's a very valid option. Randy also said 1 and 2. I heard there was a virtual dance party yesterday. Is that correct? Right?
Yes, everyone. We tell others. We tell friends, family members, community members, or anyone that can benefit from our findings. Nice work, everyone. Like I said before, the 3 steps of research are ask a question, find answers, and then tell others.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for doing those review questions, Steve. Here's one more. So for this word review, we're actually going to go through each option, and I want you to put it in the chat box if yes, you agree that this is a reason why you should participate in research, or you could say no, that is not a reason why you should participate in research. So there are 3 correct answers. So let me first read the question and the answer options. So the question is, select the 3 correct reasons why you should participate in research. Is it the first one, you can bring new ideas to the table? Is that a reason why you should participate in research? Or is it the second one, you can help doctors improve healthcare? Or is it the third one, because someone is forcing me to participate? Or is it the fourth one, your participation can help educate other people? So let's go through each one again, and I want you to use a chat box to say either yes or no. So for the first one, you can bring new ideas to the table. Yes, that is a reason why you should participate in research, or no? What do we think? Yes, yes. I like how Carla used all caps letter, yes. What does everyone else think? Okay, awesome. I'm glad that we are all on the same page. So yes, you can bring new ideas to the table. How about for this second one? You can help doctors improve healthcare. Is that a reason why you should participate in research? Yes, yes. Megan said definitely that is a reason why you should participate in research. Okay. How about for the third one? Because someone is forcing me to participate. Is that a reason why you should participate in research? I agree, Randy and Chad. No, 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 no. That is not a reason why you should participate. And we'll talk more about that on the next slide. For the fourth one, for our last one, your participation can help educate other people. Is that a reason why you should participate in research? Yes. Yes, absolutely. I agree, Libby. All right. So great work. Nice work, everyone. So the 3 correct reasons are, you can bring new ideas to the table, you can help doctors improve healthcare, and your participation can help educate other people. And I'm very glad that people said no because someone is forcing me to participate. We have a sound for that. That is not a reason why you should participate. So I'm really glad that no one said that, and I would really like to emphasize on that, because no one can ever force you to participate. During any point of the research study, you can stop your participation without facing any consequences. No one can force you to participate, so I'm glad you did not pick that. So gold stars for you all.
Congratulations, now you're on your way to become a research team. Thank you for participating in Ready. Happy Rescue Team.
Remember, if anyone is interested in participating in the full version of Ready with us in November, we'd love to hear from you. If you want to complete all 4 modules, meet other people who are interested in research, and write your very own health story, please send an email to the email listed on our screen. We will be starting on November 9th, and we will have 2 options. Monday and Wednesday from 3:30 to 5:30, or Tuesday and Thursday from 4:30 to 6:30. The modules will run for 2 weeks. And so if you're interested, you can send us an email. You can write down this email, or you can find our supplemental materials. So this is a screenshot from the website today. And if you click on that second link there, it says click here to download session materials. We have all of our materials with some extra information that has our email address too.
For more information, please take a look at our information packet. If you have any questions, or if you would like to get involved, please email us at the email here on the screen. Thank you.
And happy researching. Before we end the session completely, are there any questions about today's session, or about the curriculum that or the whole Ready session in November? Does anyone have any questions? Or is anyone interested in joining? Maybe, okay. Better than no. So I'll be keeping an eye out for all of your emails, because hopefully you will all join. It's such a fun curriculum. It's fun to get to know new people, or to get to know everyone and interact with new people. So I hope you all join. And thank you so much for joining us today for this session. Yes, this will be through Zoom. And you can access this through like your tablet or your phone, so it doesn't have to be on a computer. Any other questions?
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Steve. And thank you, Allison from North Carolina.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
And because we have 5 minutes left, does anyone have any research ideas that they might be interested in learning more about? I'm curious to hear what people are interested in learning. What about you, Megan? What are you interested in learning about?
I really like Steve's research question about activities we can do during the pandemic to maintain our mental health and our social health. And I'm also wanting to know more about activities to do in the winter to exercise, because it's been snowing a lot where I live in Minnesota and I need to get outside.
Get your snowblower out.
Yes, yes. Shoveling snow is a good exercise activity, but it's not as fun. I feel like I don't get the mental health benefits, so I need to do something that's a little bit more fun.
There are lots of snowshoeing and cross-country skiing trails around where you are. Let me know if you want some recommendations.
Yeah.
We're walking on the beach.
Yeah, maybe I should take a vacation like Allison did.
Allison, I don't think that's fair that you're talking about walking on the beach when we're dealing with snow up here.
Sorry.
Allison sent me a photo of her view of the beach. It was gorgeous.
A video. I got a video of the waves.
That is just teasing, Allison.
I'm going to change the option so that if anyone wants to unmute themselves, they can do so and ask a question. So they don't have to type in chat. They can just join the conversation for these last few minutes.
Perfect.
Thank you, Libby.
I would much rather be in North Carolina than in Minnesota right now.
We can't effectively communicate because we can't organize our thoughts. We're overwhelmed. It's just never.
Well, I think we're hearing another session. Oh, okay.
We're good. Yeah, and I don't know if it's fair that Steve's talking about getting out the snowblower. That's what we should do, is if it was snowing, we should send Allison pictures of us dealing with the snow.
Yes. We spent 3 hours shoveling our driveway last week, so
Oh, wow.
Oh, how's the
got our
back?
exercise.
How's the back?
Yeah.
My back was a little sore, but I tried to use my knees, so.
Hi, Chad.
I already got my paw guy already came once this year.
That's good.
Been a long time no see, man.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good.
Chad, you and Steve know each other?
Yeah, through partners.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we went through partners, man.
What is Partners? I don't know that program.
Partners in policy making. It's through the Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about that the other doing this. You couldn't say the Board of Developmental Disabilities. We're all,
Steve, you know so much about so many of the different programs in Wisconsin.
yeah, the AD, they got the ADRC and
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of the Disabled Veterans of America. There's a lot of.
And as we're having only a minute or two left, I want to wish Steve congratulations and good luck on his interview on Friday.
Thank you.
Steve
Thank
is
you.
a finalist. Can you
Yeah.
tell us what you're a finalist for? Because I'll probably screwed up the acronyms and such.
Yeah, the Global AIC, which is athlete input council. Basically, it's a governed. I'm on the state AIC, Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm gonna be representing North America itself. So I get this. So that it'll be a travel.
Wish you luck on that interview on Friday.
Thank you.
And with that, I think our time's almost up, right, Natalie and Megan?
Yes, I believe we are just about done. So if you do have more questions, feel free to send us an email. I'm going to stop sharing the screen now. But if you don't have the email, you can get it from our supplemental materials, which you can download from the website. So thanks everybody for coming. We hope to see some people in our ready sessions in
I like
November.
that first photo doing that Lauren's doing a photo. I like that picture. That's fantastic. I don't know who that is. All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Can our Wisconsin research team stay on for a minute? So Helen, Steve, Liddy, Allison, Natalie, and Megan stay on just for a minute after everybody signs off.
Yep.
Bye, Chad.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
All right, once